Hey everyone, now in today's video, we're going to be covering the Kimi K3 model. And this Kimi K3 is a 2.8 trillion parameter model, which is pretty insane because if you scroll down to this graph, it is pretty much like the only open source model that competes with these more expensive models like Fable 5 or GPT 5.6 Sol. And if you go on Twitter and you search for Kimi K3, you get all of these crazy examples of what different people are building. So for example, this is someone building an Animal Crossing style game. It generated a fully playable experience with cozy aesthetics, interactions, and gameplay loop in a single shot. Someone also generated Red Dead Redemption 2 with a fully playable world. And again, this is all using Kimi K3, which is completely open source. And not only do we get examples with gaming, we also get examples with generating videos like this. This is GPT 5.6 Sol on the left and Kimi K3 on the right. And like I said, if you go on Twitter and you search for Kimi K3, there are a lot of tweets where people are building games. People are building more of these like 3JS types of projects and comparing the model with Fable 5, for example. But in today's video, what I want to do is actually want to test this out. I want to start off with a simple prompt and then build something a little bit more advanced with like scroll triggers or something like that. And then by the end of this video, I'll also show you how to visually edit your designs that you built or that you create with Kimi K3. So without further ado, let's go ahead and dive into it. But guys, if you are into these types of workflows, if you want to research with me, if you want to co-work with me, I do have a free community you can join down below. I go live every single day and you can feel free to join me. We listen to some music, we test out different workflows. So yeah, link is down in the description below. Now, in order to start, you want to go to kimi.com and over here you can start chatting with the different Kimi models. And once you're here, what you want to do is you want to click on login and you want to sign up for an account if you haven't signed up already, or log in. And when it comes to the plans, I'm actually currently on this Moderato plan. It's good enough just to kind of test out this new model and give it a few things to build. And once you have that, what you want to do next is you want to go to OpenCode and you want to download this app to your desktop, because you can theoretically work here with the kimi.com website, but I would prefer to use OpenCode to actually have all of my files stored locally in my computer. So whatever I'm building, whether it be a website or anything, it's all stored locally in my computer. And then what you want to do is you want to go ahead and get an API key from here from Kimi. Now, in order to use Kimi K3 inside of OpenCode, you do need to get an API key. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to console over here in kimi.com/code. And over here, we can create an API key. We can give it a name. I'm going to call it like YT for YouTube. Click on create. We're going to copy this key. And then in OpenCode, what you want to do is you want to go up here to the top left, click on home. Then you want to click on settings, then go down here to providers. And you want to scroll down to where it says show more providers. You want to then search for Kimi, right? Click on Kimi for coding and paste in your API key. Then you want to hit continue. And now it is connected, right? So, and then you can go back over here and automatically it selects Kimi K3. And you also have the other Kimi models if you need it, but we can just choose Kimi K3. And then before we start building something, we can choose where we want to store this project. I'm just going to click on add project and I'm going to select this specific folder. And in my case, I'm going to use it for something personal. I'm actually going to host a workshop here in this venue. And this is basically the link of where we can find it, when is it going to be, and so on and so forth. And I would like for Kimi to look at this page and create like a little form for people to kind of sign up and register for spots to be at this event. And I would like for the branding of this to match this website, right? With the yellow and with the fonts and with the buttons and so on. So I can get this URL and then I can write a simple prompt like this, build me a simple form page that shows me a multi-step form with an image gallery to get people to sign up for a hackathon in this place. I'm going to say, let's use a React library and let's enhance the design and use the branding from here. I basically gave it the website. And so we can submit this using OpenCode. Now, in the same time, I'm going to go to Claude Code and I'm going to run that exact same prompt over here. And instead of Kimi K3, we're going to be using Fable 5 because that's part of Claude. And obviously, since we're using Claude Code, we're going to be choosing Fable 5 and we're going to hit submit. And for starters, this is what Kimi K3 gives us. We have like our form over here, multi-steps, we have these 3 stock images that honestly have nothing to do with the venue. We have this little eyebrow component on the top left, Hack Night, West Palm Beach. I wonder why night is highlighted. In terms of the layout, it's pretty clean, and we can go ahead and test these different things out. So I'm just gonna select a different role, experience, click on continue. So as you can see, I hover over this button, it gives me like a black color. And if I go to venturex.com, which is the website of that location, we also get that black hover, but the button style is completely different. It's more rounded. The one that Kimi K3 gives us, once we hover, the text turns yellow. In the original site, the text turns white. But we can continue filling out this little form. And then once we click on reserve my seat, we get this nice little verification note over here. And now this is the result that Claude Code gives us, right? So we have our gallery. The first thing that I notice is that we can select all of these different images, and they are basically images from the actual website. We have the logo up here in the top. We have also the buttons, which are pretty much identical to the actual website that I referenced. And I can go through this whole process. We have 4 different steps with 4 different types of inputs. Interesting is also there's like this logistics steps that says swag, snacks, and the fine print. So we can select a t-shirt size, dietary needs, creative steps that Fable gives us that I didn't even think about before. So we can continue to the last one. We have all of these different things that we can confirm. We can click on confirm my spot. Boom, you're in. And overall, like this, just from this one prompt, the design looks much nicer. It looks more correct when Fable 5 builds it. Now, one thing that you can do to improve your design with Kimi K3 is that you can open up OpenCode on the left, and then you can open up a browser on the right, like Google Chrome, for example, and search for magicpath.ai. And you want to then create a new project. And once you do that, you can click on Connect Agent. We can go to documentation and copy this install skill. And then we can just literally just paste this in here. And then you can write something like, hey, do you see the open project that I have? And it says, yes, project 15. And I can then go ahead and say, add my design one-to-one to our MagicPath canvas. And that's exactly what we get. We get our design here one-to-one, basically with all of the different steps, right? Everything functioning. This is actual code here on the canvas. It's like literally open code, or you can do this with Cursor, Codex, Claude Code. You give these different coding platforms their own visual canvas. So instead of having to go through all of these pages and run all of these projects on your local host, you have them all here. So with that being said, I can actually go to the original site that I wanted to basically get that design style from, and I can choose the MagicPath Chrome extension, which is called Web Capture HTML to React with MagicPath. And then I can literally just select a section that, I would want to bring over to MagicPath. Like for example, we can select this card over here, or just the bottom version, the bottom part of this card, paste this underneath this form. I can go to another page, like for example, this one, and again, copy this hero section, and then go back into MagicPath and paste that in here. We already have this one. And what I can do, since I already have this one here, I can get this, I can hit Command D to copy it, and then I can bring this over here. I can select these two. I can then open this left panel, and I can say, give Hackathon Night sign up contact form the exact button style and fonts from education article, which is this one, right? So we can go ahead, you can actually use a really good model like 5.6 Sol and submit this. And then once that's done, what I can do is I can click on this little globe icon to preview the design. And now when I go down to the button, I can hover over it, and beautiful. It's just like what we have in the original site. And what's also great here is that you can select this, and then you can go up here to the top left and click on visual edits. Here, this is where you can visually edit different things. So I can, for example, click on this H1 text. I can adjust the font width to something like regular, adjust the font size. I can also select images and kind of move them in different places. So like maybe put this one over here. I can also select different divs and kind of move them around in different places if we wanted to. And then once you're done editing these different things, what we can do is we can click on done, and then we can select this component, and we can say replace the code of the form site you made earlier with the selected MagicPath component, then run on localhost. All right, and now once that's done, we can check it out. We have all of our different edits that we made inside of that visual editor in MagicPath, and now As you can see, we have the correct button, which I'm very happy about. But now let's try to do something else. Let's try to do something more fun, more interesting. You know, we see all of this hype on X of people building games and people building things with Three.js. So let's do that. I drew out these different frames that kind of represent different scroll triggers through while you scroll down on a website. And so we have, for example, the globe, and then you can scroll down. The globe kind of rotates a little bit more. It scales in size, and then it zooms into Las Vegas. And then we have a title text. We have like, something over here that can represent something, maybe like the time zone and the temperature, something like that. Here we have Florida, Miami, same thing. Then it zooms out, goes to another part of the world. We have Italy and we have Tunisia over here. Shout outs to the people in my community, you know who I'm talking about. And then when you scroll down, we have a dark title text. I'm thinking like maybe stars at the end. So this is quite a complicated prompt to write from scratch. And now I don't know about you, but I'm too lazy to do that. So what I do is I use this tool called Hey Clicky. You can definitely use it for free just for this specific use case. They have a very generous free plan and they have an amazing onboarding experience. Like if you guys try it out, please let me know what you think in the comments below. But you can download this. And once you download it, you're going to see this little like blue cursor next to my cursor, as you can see over here. And then I'm going to hit Control and Option at the same time. And right now I'm talking to Clicky. Hello, Clicky. So, hey, Clicky, I need you to help me with a prompt. And by the end of this message or this memo that I'm giving you right now, I'd like you to add that prompt to my clipboard so I can copy and paste, so I can paste it into Claude Code, right? So basically what we see in front of us right now is 7 frames for a website. Each frame represents a different scroll trigger. So if we zoom in over here, we see frame 1, which is the globe, and we have a title text at the bottom. We have the globe. I want there to be like stars in the background, like it looks like outer space. And over here, we can, I don't know, you can think about what we can put on the top left and top right. I just added that because it looked nice, like a nice layout. Then the user would scroll down. The globe would basically scale, right? It would get larger and also rotate at the same time. And then we go to the next scene, which is over here on the right. The next scroll trigger would basically zoom the user to Las Vegas, right? We would see Las Vegas. We'd see, the title text that represents this Las Vegas marker. And then maybe like the temperature of Las Vegas would be interesting. We want to then do the same thing over here with Miami. After Las Vegas, it scrolls to Miami. Then it kind of scrolls out to the world again. And then we get Tunisia over here. That would be the next destination. And then the last frame would be a title text that basically we just get stars in the background and a title text to kind of end the site.
I'll put together a clean prompt and get it ready for your clipboard.
So now it's going to prepare that prompt.
I built out the full 7-frame prompt from your storyboard, starfield space background, spinning globe with title text at the bottom, and local time plus time zone in the top corners, scroll triggered scale and rotation, then camera flights into Las Vegas, Miami, a pullback to the globe, Tunis, each with title and temperature overlays, and a pitch black starfield outro with closing title. It's on your clipboard, ready to paste into Claude Code with Command V.
Awesome. And when I paste it down over here, you can kind of see the whole structure of the prompt. And so it gives like a general summary of what needs to be built with a tech stack, a line that describes the overall look. Then we have the 7 different frames, and then we have some little details. So all camera moves are scrubbed to scroll. We get the final details at the end. And so what I can do now is I can bring this into OpenCode to use with Kimi K3 and also into Claude Code to use with Fable 5. And so on the left, we have Kimi K3. On the right, we have Claude and Fable 5. So I'm just going to go ahead and scroll with Kimi K3. This is how it looks like. So like a nice comparison between the 2 hero sections. Then I'm going to scroll down over here. We zoom into Las Vegas. It doesn't really zoom into the city of Las Vegas, but kind of like hovering over it. Then we can scroll down. It zooms out again. And then we have this like awkward zoom in to Miami. Then we zoom out to the globe like we told it. And then we have another awkward zoom into Tunis. And then at the end, we have 3 cities, 1 sky, And we have this like nice little 3D star zoom out, zoom in effect. And now let's try with the website that Fable 5 built us. So we can just scroll down around the world, 1 globe, 3 cities. We scroll into Las Vegas. It scrolls more into Las Vegas than the other one. We can scroll down and it scrolls to Miami. We have no awkward like rotation. It's like a nice clean bounce. Then it scrolls out, and then we scroll into Tunis, and then it scrolls out again, and boom, we have our ending. So let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Which one is your favorite? And let me know what you guys are building with Kimi K3 if you've tested it out already. If you're building something interesting, please, feel free to join our community and feel free to share it. And guys, like always, thank you all so much for watching. Hope to see you next time. Goodbye.